All right, kid. Where are we going?
We're gonna go sledding, and I think we're gonna go to where we normally walk where she's dogs. Because those have some pretty good hills, don't they?
Yeah, we're gonna take a little shortcut that we used to take when I was a kid. And you're gonna be surprised at how quick the shortcut is. Yeah, though it may involve us going through someone's yard. It's kind of a tradition, though.
Yeah, I remember you guys telling me about one.
Yep.
Oh.
So, if you grew up anywhere near the Mill Creek area of Delaware, you may remember a place called Delcastle. Some people call it Del Rec. And this is basically a recreational park where they have a lot of cool things. They have a walking trail / bike trail that goes around the outside of the park and cuts through the park. They have a playground. They have quite a few baseball / softball fields. They have soccer fields. They even have a street hockey court. And I'm probably forgetting a few things. There's exercise stations along the way. But along where the sporting complex is, there are some pretty good sized hills. And at least back in the 80s and 90s, this was the place to come sleigh riding. There would always be people up here sleigh riding. And what we did is, our neighborhood is back here. We actually cut through a yard. And we used to cut through that corner yard and come up here. And this time we asked permission because the person who owned the house was out there sweeping off their porch. And they told us, yeah, go ahead and cut through. So just like old times. But it's always so beautiful up here when it snows. You have the way the snow, there's so many woods. And in these woods, there used to be trails. Hiking trails, walking trails, whatnot. And we used to go in there. Now they're so overgrown. A lot of these woods you can't even go in anymore. But as kids, we used to go through there, and I just remember this walk coming up here, and we'd come out at the foot of the sleigh riding hill. And my brothers, along with some of the neighbors, they had four-wheelers. And on a day like this, they would definitely be out riding the four-wheelers, riding them up to Delcastle. And of course, those rides weren't just limited to snowy days, but snowy days was when you would see those four-wheelers out 100%. But where we're going to now is to this hill that we used to sled down as kids.
This is really pretty.
It's beautiful. It is. And up here where we're walking, it's a shame because there's no cut through really. Like, you can walk all the way around behind these houses, but unless you get the permission to cut through someone's yard, you can't get through to our neighborhood unless you take a long way about.
Well, not technically, because technically we're not walking to people's yards. Because you can see where the ditch is.
Now see, on a day like today, you'd come around here and you would see all kinds of people sledding down this hill.
Be careful right there.
At least a few, because all the neighbors and such knew about it. People that lived in the area. But from here, I don't see any signs of anybody sleigh riding. It could be because of like the -4-degree wind chill. I don't know. That just never seemed to stop us before. Now there's a little pond. It's not even really a pond. It's more so like the head of a stream that's down at the bottom of this hill. And we always used to have to watch for that. This walkway that I'm walking on didn't used to be here. It used to just be all grass. But you'd start up at the top there and sled down. And these disc sleds, like we're going to use today, always worked well. But another thing that worked really well was this big toboggan that we used to have, a big wooden toboggan. And we get 3 of us on there, me and my mom and my dad, come tearing down this hill. And you'd go a pretty good ways with that. Now, what Alex may not know is, because she's never had a lot of experience sledding, we don't get much snow down in Virginia, is you've got to push yourself down this hill a couple times and make yourself a good panked down trail before you can really enjoy it. So the first couple times, you might not go too far. But once you get that little trail going, you're gonna fly down this hill. And there we go. See, a little further each time. And I also remember we used to make some jumps along this hill. So you come down on the sled, you go flying off some jumps. But you get it moving, you come a long way. Now if we come over this way a little bit, I think the hill's a little bit steeper. So I'm gonna go try my hand up there, but as I said, you just have to watch out for this pond. Now it's not as much of a threat. You can see the water from here. And for 2, there's a lot more underbrush in front of it to kind of keep you from going in there. But another pan over the woods is it's always beautiful to see this covered in snow.
Too much snow.
Go ahead. Okay. If you try sitting on it, it might go a little better, like a little more even weight.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
So we got quite a snowdrift up here, as you can see from the wind. So it gets deep once you go up there a little bit. But go ahead and sit on it like you were before. Let's show the folks at home how good it goes. There we go. Not too far yet, but as you get that path going, it starts getting a little better. Okay, so I made a little bit more of a path. Let's see how Alex takes it here. Okay, still not moving too fast. But let's see what happens when we put a little more weight on the sled. Alright. Here goes nothing. Woo! Oh! Oh! Ooh! Ooh!
You okay?
Oh yeah. That was pretty good. Alright. So thanks to the snowdrift, we got a little hill here. Woo, it's like a little roller coaster. Alright, let's get a POV.
There you go.
Alright, here we go. We're starting from back by the fence here, just like we used to. And like I said, we got a little dip, thanks to the snowdrift. But here goes. Oh man. Woo! Oh! Whoa! Woo! Alright! That was pretty good. Woo! Woo! Ah! Okay, so we're gonna check out one more sleigh riding hill before we go. And this is actually over the other side of the field that we're at. See, we're right over there sledding before, but now we're walking around the field, and there's a fairly steep hill that comes down from the parking lot. And this is another hill up here that we used to go sleigh riding down. The only issue is the fence at the bottom. There is a little buffer because it comes down, and there's a little hill that goes up here. So there's a little bit of a buffer, but you do have to be careful that you don't run into the fence. And if you find yourself coming close, you gotta abandon ship. Yeah, so not bad. You just gotta make sure you jump off before you get to the bottom. And I never really, I mean, it's a steep hill, but as a kid, that fence always scared me. So I learned to jump off. All right, so here we go for
Jump
POV.
Off. Jump off, jump off.
Oh, hopefully I can jump off in time. If not, it's game over. See what happens here. Not incredibly fast. And there it is. Oh yeah, that's when it's about time to start heading back. I think we're gonna try, and I don't recall doing it before, but I think we're gonna try to take this one hill right here where it's actually the bike path, if there's enough snow on it. And this goes right down into the sports complex there. So I do have a vague recollection of coming down this hill. Stay in the middle.
Okay. Right, like this?
Yeah.
This good?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make the path first, and then maybe it goes a little quicker. At least so it did on the hill over here. Here we go. One more win on the sled and see what it does. Now, I'll tell you, I don't like the road as much as the grass. It hurts the tailbone, which is still hurting from 2 weeks ago. So definitely a fun time sleigh riding up at Delcastle. As we walk back through the snowy woods, through our shortcut that goes back into the neighborhood. It's a pretty cool place. We got to hit up a couple of different hills, and it's very scenic up there. Like I said, with the snow-covered streams and the woods, as we just look into the woods here. You know, I remember playing in these woods as a kid, cutting through these woods to get up to see the softball games. And there's a lot of little treasures in there, a lot of neat paths and such. But Delcastle's a pretty fun place, all year round, both in the summer and in the winter time. And what do you think, kid?
Oh, this is the funnest place I've ever been. This is the first time it snowed this well in like 5 years.
Yeah, this might be the most snow you've seen in a long time, huh?
Yeah.
Because down near where we live now, we don't get a lot of snow. And we were fortunate to get some last week.
And that was probably as much as it is now. But like, I think this one is a couple more inches.
Yeah, this one's definitely more inches, a lot more inches.
But of course it came out when it was almost all melted because it melted really fast.
This didn't melt fast, no. The high today was 21. So and with the wind chill, like I said, it's like -4 degrees. So 19 degrees when we left. I think this will be here for a little while.
And look, it's the clear sky still sticking.
I also got to say, for this sled, this disc sled, it's held up pretty good. Now this is,
I'm all layered up.
I'm not sure before this. This might be the first year we brought it out, but it went down the steps at the front house, went down the hill and over the jumps at Messick Point, and now it's survived the hills at Delcastle, and it's still in one piece. So take a look at this brand here. What's it called? ESP is what it looks like. ESP is the brand of this sled. So ESP disc sleds, they're the way to go. Although, like I said, those old wooden toboggans, those things used to fly, especially if you get a couple people on them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about growing up in Delaware, some retro things, and toy reviews.